Hello everybody, and welcome to another Core Set 2020 draft here on Arena. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. And before I dive in, I have a pretty cool announcement. I am going to be experimenting with a new MTG Arena app that came out fairly recently by Untapped.gg. It shows Lsv'S card rankings on every card as you're drafting. So it's like drafting with Lsv over your shoulder. It's not perfect. It is from Lsv's first impressions before he actually got a chance to play with the cards, but it seems like a super cool tool, so I'm going to be experimenting with that, and you'll get to see it in action. If you do enjoy this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button. If the video gets to 50 thumbs up, I will post another video tomorrow. So to support the video and to get access to more content at the same time, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel to get updates whenever I post future content, and also to join our community. Leave a comment if you have any questions at all, and if you would like to further support the community, be sure to check out the Patreon page and get access to exclusive bonus content once per week. Patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. But without further ado, let's dive in. This is my first time experimenting with the tool, and already looks pretty cool. So you can hover over the card. It has little text at the top. It is a little bit small, but I mean definitely readable. It shows his ranking, so he gives this a 0. I'm not going to be just blindly following his pick order rankings because these were from before the format came out, but I think this is a pretty neat tool to highlight. And there's even this is the settings page. Just definitely looks pretty cool. You can toggle to show without his comments, all sorts of different stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, in this pack, Devout Decree is a pretty strong sideboard card, but definitely not a main deckable thing. And okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, I was worried because it was gone for a second. But yeah, Devout Decree is a strong sideboard card, but not something I would main deck. Same with Blight Beetle. I think Blight Beetle is fine if your opponent's a green deck, but other than that, I would tend not to play it. In the commons section, I think that the best commons are Aerial Assault, Dawning Angel, and then Thicket Crasher. I think those are the best 3. I think Boneclad Necromancer is okay, but not insane. But, you know, Lsv'S rating is a 3.0. I haven't actually played with Boneclad Necromancer yet, so maybe I should just give it a shot. I think that Dawning Angel is a little bit worse than he gave it credit for, just because white is worse. But, you know, let's take a shot here. Try the Boneclad Necromancer. I haven't actually gotten a chance to play with it. Lsv's kind of telling me to pick it, so let's go with that. And we got past a Chandra Novice Pyromancer. This is the best uncommon in the set. Phenomenal card, and definitely the pick out of this pack. Rapacious Dragon is definitely a good one. There's another Boneclad Necromancer, but I think I'd rather take an Agonizing Siphon than a Necromancer. This pack is just very solid. If you look across, there's a lot of 3.0s, lots of 2.5s even. I guess this is a 3.5, but yeah. I think in this pack, it actually does follow Lsv's pick order pretty much. I think I would go Chandra, then I would take the Chandra's Outrage, and then I would take Agonizing Siphon, and then Rapacious Dragon. And then, you know, I might just take the second Boneclad Necromancer to stay on color. But Chandra's the obvious pick. The -2 is just very effective in this format, and is just a very good card.
You ready? I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okie doke. This pick strikes me as a pretty easy Ember Hauler. Ember Hauler is just a fantastic card. It's a mono red card, and ooh, it shows how many you've collected for your arena collection. That's fantastic as well. Pretty neat stuff. But yeah, Ember Hauler, 2-mana 2/2 creature that actually also has upside of being like a removal spell on a stick. You can do very good things with this plus Soul Salvage, which might fit into this black-red deck that I'm building, because you can sacrifice the Ember Hauler and get a creature into your graveyard fairly easily for your Soul Salvage. Lsv's highest ranked card in this pack is a Rabid Bite, but I think that Ember Hauler is comparable, and it's the same color as the Chandra that I really do want to play, so I think that the Ember Hauler is a fine pick in this pack. Bloodsoaked Altar is actually a card I haven't gotten a chance to play with yet, but I do think that this can be powerful in the right deck, especially if you get some Sanitarium Skeletons. Hey, just like Lsv says, sacrifice into fodder like Sanitarium Skeleton. Granted, some of my thoughts might be similar to Lsv's, because I did read all of his card review articles before I even drafted the set for my first time, so I probably share a lot of his opinions on some of the cards, especially ones I haven't played with, like Bloodsoaked Altar. I haven't had too much experience with this card, but Ember Hauler is definitely my pick out of this pack. And this pack is not too powerful. I think the best card in this pack right off the bat is just this Netcaster Spider. I am a big fan of Netcaster Spider. Just the reach is really nice, and because there is a decently large flying sub-theme in this set, and I think that Netcaster Spider is just a strong card. I will say Diamond Knight is pretty much unplayable in my opinion. I don't think it's ever very good. 3-mana 1/1 is just too small, even if it can grow, and it's a horrific top deck later. So I just would recommend against playing Diamond Knight ever. I think I'm on Netcaster Spider, and if you look at the ratings, we are in agreement. 3.0 given. There is an active treason, which if I wanted to play like a black-red sacrifice deck type thing, active treason could be a pick that I considered, but I'm not really on that type of strategy. I'm more of just taking the best cards out of the pack still. I'm not like too committed to any one color. I could definitely just see myself playing a red-green deck. But after this pack, maybe I solidify myself back into black-red. Yarok's Fenlurker is a pretty strong card. It is a little bit tricky to cast, but it is a built-in 2-for-1, and the activated ability is actually semi-relevant. It's not like insanely relevant, but I think it's actually a pretty good ability. Other cards in the pack to consider are Goblin Smuggler. I've been very impressed with Goblin Smuggler. It has just excellent synergy with the other red commons like Flamekin Brawler and things like that. Flamekin Brawler is the big one, but there's other synergies you can get, like you can give something unblockable, then pump it up with a Marauder's Axe. Just a lot of things you can do. Boreal Elemental is a pretty strong card as well, but it's not in my main colors, so there's not really a reason to switch colors for the Boreal Elemental at this point. And then Sedge Scorpion. This is just a pretty strong card as well, and it kind of goes with the green card I already have. So I think here the main picks are between Goblin Smuggler, just because it goes with my red cards, Fenlurker as just the most powerful card, and then Scorpion as like a third place card. I think I'm just going to take the Fenlurker because I'm not 100% sure on my colors, and I think I could just be a black deck here at this point, and I don't want to commit myself too heavily to any one direction at this, like pick 5. I'd like to hedge around, see what's open, and then move from there. This pack, I think Sanitarium Skeleton's a little bit better than a 1.0, 2.0. I think that you get enough combos in this set that it's just going to end up being better than that almost every time. So I think this pick is mostly between a Sanitarium Skeleton and a Reduced to Ashes. Blight Beetle would be maybe a fine sideboard card, but I really haven't seen this card do good work. I think it's okay out of the board, but like not something I prioritize super highly. And I think the first Sanitarium Skeleton is really good just because there are a lot of combos with it. We could take a Reduced to Ashes or over Sanitarium Skeleton, but I think the first Sanitarium Skeleton is actually fairly important, and the first Reduced to Ashes, I don't know, not super important. According to Lsv'S picks, he would kind of go with the Reduced to Ashes in this spot, I think, just because it's just a more powerful card a lot of the time, and we don't have any synergies with the skeleton yet. I guess let's just see what happens if we copy his pick, but I think I would definitely consider the Sanitarium Skeleton there. Oh my goodness, Scampering Scorcher is excellent. Chandra, Novice Pyromancer, and Scampering Scorcher is just one of the better combos you can assemble, because if you go Scampering Scorcher and then Chandra, that's 9 power that you have in play, so that's pretty effective. Or if you go Chandra minus, and the next turn you go Chandra plus, and after a Scampering Scorcher, that's a lot of power. Sanitarium Skeleton's another consideration. Other than that, the cards in this pack are just generally weak. I think Scampering Scorcher is definitely a pick. Oh my goodness, we've seen 3 Sanitarium Skeletons in a row and finally kind of punished for not taking one. I think Bone Splinters are just quite good. It does work with a lot of the cards we already have. We have a Yarok's Fenlurker to sacrifice, Scampering Scorcher tokens, just some good stuff. I think the Gauntlets of Light, I've actually had discussions with people, and Gauntlets of Light is better than it looks. It looks quite bad, but I think there's a couple of cards that it combos with really well that you can get fairly easily. For example, Daybreak Chaplain, like the 2-mana 1/3, you curve that into a Gauntlets of Light, and all of a sudden you have a 5/5 attacking on turn 3, and that's just very powerful. You can also do that even later in the game, and it's still a very big threat. The thing with the removal in this format is outside of black, because white is so underplayed, because a lot of the other white cards aren't good, pacifism is played less than you would expect, which means a lot of the colors don't have access to removal for big threats. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm going to take the Bone Splinters here, though. We'll probably end up being able to pick up a Sanitarium Skeleton later, and I just think Bone Splinters is the best. Just gives me a nice removal spell that I'll want to have access to. Here, this pack doesn't really have anything that great in it. I think we'll just take a Plummet in case we end up having a reason to splash green, and then it could be a good card out of the sideboard. Rapacious Dragon. Excellent card. I think even though Evolving Wilds is a good card, and can help with my fixing and stuff, especially because I have a double red card and a double black card, I think Rapacious Dragon, the 3/3 flyer, is just a big body in this format, and I'm just going to take the Rapacious Dragon here. Now we'll just take the card that's on color. Wow, late Thicket Crasher. It's interesting to see how the bots are different from the way... Oh, nice! You can hover over this and it gives the ratings. Wow, that's actually awesome. Wow, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Thicket Crasher is like the best card according to ratings. It's also just the best card in this pack for sure. But we'll just take a Fire Elemental. You can sometimes play those. And now I guess we'll take a Scorch Spitter. Sometimes that's playable as well if you are a super aggressive deck. Though we don't look to be going in that direction. Goblin Smuggler. came back. Well, that's not something I expected, but we'll take it. And Manifold Key, I think, is more playable than this thing's giving it credit for. And a late Loaming Shaman. Okie doke, so we've opened 2 ley lines in a row because that's how good we are at Magic the Gathering. It's a pure skill game here, and we are thriving. I think we can't abandon the idea of potentially playing green just yet. We only have 3 black cards, and none of them are insane or anything, so maybe we could just take a Leafkin Druid as a potential ramp target and consider just playing red-green elementals potentially. Spectral Sailor is also a pretty powerful card. We could play a red-blue deck, but I think because we already have this Netcaster Spider and these 2 cards are relatively comparable, Spectral Sailor only does stuff in the extreme late game and it's super fragile, and Leafkin Druid is just a very good 2-drop. I think that taking the Leafkin Druid could potentially just be correct here. Flame Sweep is a card I haven't actually played with. Let's just examine our cards and what it kills. It kills a lot of the cards in our deck, but we don't have we aren't too deep in yet. I think we're just going to take the Leafkin Druid here and keep our options open to going into a green deck because we don't actually have insane payoffs for going into black right now. We have a Boneclad Necromancer and a Fenlurker, and that's pretty much it. The Bone Splinter's it's take it or leave it. But Leafkin Druid goes with this Netcaster Spider, and overall, just a solid pickup. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Scholar of Ages is fantastic. We're not going to take it here because we didn't see any blue pack 1, and there is a Lavakin Brawler in the pack, which is going to be excellent. Not only is it a combo with our Chandra, it's also a combo with our Leafkin Druid that we have, our Scampering Scorcher, our Goblin Smuggler. This is part of the synergy between the red commons. Just Goblin Smuggler and Lavakin Brawler is just an excellent combination, and we have other cards that work well with it. I think this is a pretty clear Lavakin Brawler. There's also an Audacious Thief, which is a solid card, but we aren't even sure we're going to be playing black at this point, and Lavakin Brawler is excellent. And listening to the more recent episode of Limited Resources where they talked about their first impressions from Core Set 2020, Lsv'S said that he is in a similar vein to where I was already at, where I heard his opinion after I'd already come to this conclusion, but he was very high on Lavakin Brawler as well, so good to hear when he agrees. Okie doke. Then here we can potentially just take a Noxious Grasp as a sideboard card. We could take a Moldervine Reclamation. I think this card definitely could be the pick because we could just splash black potentially off of a Rapacious Dragon and Evolving Wilds, maybe a dual land or something like that. I could definitely see that being a play. Noxious Grasp is a card that you could potentially sideboard splash, but I don't see that being particularly good. We could just move back towards a straight up red-black deck. Loaming Shaman could get in there. So I'm not 100% sure which direction to go. I think that Moldervine Reclamation is a fine pickup here, especially if I end up in a more grindy deck. So I think I'm going to take the Moldervine Reclamation over a Gorging Vulture, which even if I had, I'm not sure where I'm going to end up. Gorging Vulture would be a solid card, but I think I'm more likely to end up red-green at this point. So let's just take the Reclamation. Whew. I tried to whistle, but Risen Reef is insane. Definitely the pick out of this pack, and then we can just try to play red-green splash blue. It's just such a fantastic card that it's almost always worth splashing in your Elementals decks, and I'm already playing Elementals. I've already got Lavakin, Scampering Scorcher, Leafkin Druid, and I've already got a Rapacious Dragon to help with my splash. This late Risen Reef, I'd consider pick 4 to be very late for a Risen Reef, just really giving me an indicator that splashing blue is where I want to be. I have a very good record with Temur Elementals. I think my record when I have Risen Reef in my deck is 13-1. And I think in a large part because of Risen Reef. Risen Reef into Scampering Scorcher is just GG a lot of the time. And after this pick, we're going to prioritize the lands very highly so we can play a very consistent deck. After that, I would take the Leafkin Druid. But now we've got a very solid idea of where we want to end up. It's a little bit interesting. We could potentially splash 2 different colors. We could splash black for Moldervine Reclamation and green and blue for Risen Reef and see how that works out. We're not going to be splashing any of these cards like Sleep Paralysis. We could take a Keldon Raider, but I think we already have 3 4-drops, and we'd rather just maybe pick up a land that could help us splash a Moldervine Reclamation and maybe go a little bit deeper than I normally go. I usually only splash 1 color. Actually, you know what? There's a Chandra's Embercat in this pack. It works really well with our other cards. We're just going to take the Embercat. I didn't actually see that. I kind of glossed over it. Okay, this pack, pretty easy Ferocious Pup, I think. I think the Dragon Mage is a little bit too expensive to be good, and it just dies to even Reduced to Ashes kills it, which is not it doesn't even dodge that removal when it's a 7-drop. It just gets killed too easily, and the attack ability is sometimes just a downside. So we'll take the Ferocious Pup. It can help us stall and just be a good card. Another Goblin Smuggler. Very good card. The Loaming Shaman is not something I tend to prioritize, because like you can infinitely loop these in the late game, but I don't think that's really where I want to be. I'd rather just get a Goblin Smuggler now, so that I can combo with my Lavakin Brawlers and my Ember Cats in the late game and stuff like that. And yeah, I think Lsv'S was a little bit too high on the Foot Soldier early on in the format. Feral Invocation is a solid option, but we're just going to pick up the Goblin Smuggler because it's a fantastic card. And another Scampering Scorcher. Still got excellent synergy with the cards in our deck, so this is a pretty easy pickup. Brightwood Tracker would be a fine addition, but we already have a lot of 4-drops, and we're just going to continue to play these elemental 4-drops that have synergy with the rest of our deck. And now Uncaged Fury. Good combination with our Lavakin Brawler, especially if we give it unblockable, so we'll take that. Fine combat trick. We'll get a Wolfkin Bond up in here. Probably not going to play the Wolfkin Bond, though. I guess we'll take the Raptor. Steel Golem's technically a creature. Ferocious Pup. We might not play the Ferocious Pups, but you never know. Oh, so this is a double blue card. We're not going to end up splashing this, but it is quite a good card. I just don't like splashing double-colored cards, especially because it's such a tempo-based card, because so much of this power comes from the fact that you can play it early and just get a huge tempo swing before they kill it, whereas we aren't going to be able to get that value. Meteor Golem is quite powerful. I think we're just going to take a Leafkin Druid, though, because we do have a lot of 4-drops. It is also an elemental, and maybe we would even wheel a Gift of Paradise if we're lucky. I think Meteor Golem is quite good, though. I just would rather get a nice 2-drop. We only have, I guess we have 1, 2, 3. We only have 3 2-drops right now. Getting a 4th really good 2-drop is a priority. Here, I'm surprised how low Lsv was on Pack Mastiff, because I think this is one of the better red commons, just because it's very powerful as just a 2-drop that's relevant in the late game. Let's see how many cards we have that die to Flame Sweep. 1, 2, 3, 4. A bunch of our cards. We're not going to play some of them, though. I could see it being pretty powerful. I learned Pack 1 that we don't need to prioritize Thicket Crashers. I think actually just getting a Mammoth Spider could be the play here. It works really well with the Netcaster Spider to just team up to make us have a very powerful defense. We already have enough 2-drops, so we don't need to prioritize the Pack Mastiff. And we don't really need to take Flame Sweep here because it's not super good in our deck. Let's just take the Mammoth Spider. And another Lavakin Brawler versus a Rabbit Bite. This is actually a close pick. We do have 1 removal spell, 2 removal spell, 3 removal spells, and Lavakin Brawler is excellent in our deck, both with the Ember Cat and the Leafkin Druid. I'm very tempted to take it. Very tempted. Rabbit Bite is quite good, though. It just doesn't really have a ton of synergy with the cards in our deck, because look how small all of our creatures are. I think we're going to take the Lavakin Brawler just because Rabbit Bite just doesn't do a ton in our deck. All of our creatures are small, except for this guy, which only gets like power until the end of turn when it's attacking. So there's also a Thornwood Falls, which is a consideration for helping us splash. But I think Lavakin Brawler is good enough to be worth taking over a Thornwood Falls. Though maybe that's not even true. All of these lands are nice additions to any 2-color deck, and make splashing a 3rd color much easier. Higher than average playables, but this is a premium playable, so we'll be taking that. Cavalier of Flame fits right in. This pack is going insane. Yeah, 5 mana, 6/5, relevant abilities all across the board. And we're going to be taking this over a Ember Hauler. This is just a super powerful rare, so easy pickup here. Maybe we'll even wheel this Goblin Smuggler. Wow. We are just getting tossed these good picks left, right, and center. Seasons of Growth isn't like insane if you don't have any ways to trigger it. I would take it very highly if I had 2 ways, and I have 1 way. And I think this is just actually a much better card than he gave it credit for in this set. The scrying is just super relevant. Scampering Scorcher, you can just scry your Cavalier to the top. You can scry like your Risen Reefs to the top. You can get your fixing going. I think that Season of Growth is quite good. I think it's worse than the Lavakin Brawler is in this deck. And Thornwood Falls is also a card that I kind of want. But I think I'm just going to take... So I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-drops. Let's just take the Thornwood Falls. Get a land that helps us with our splash. Because we are going to want to splash the Risen Reef in this deck. And Gift of Paradise. Nice little addition for splashing. There's also a Destructive Digger, which is a good card. But I think that splashing our Risen Reef is a high enough priority that it's worth picking up this little bit of fixing that can also serve as a bit of ramp, and that'll give us 3 sources of blue. 1, 2, 3. And Destructive Digger's a nice card, but I think we'll be fine. And now let's just take a Scuttlemutt, a nice extra way to help us fix. And pretty late Dagger Sale Aeronaut. I'm not the hugest fan, but you know, it's a pretty solid card, and we're not going to play it, but I guess we'll take it over a 3rd Ferocious Pup. Gift of Paradise came back. I don't know if we want to play 2 Gift of Paradise. We could even splash Moldavine Reclamation because all of our fixing pretty much fixes for both colors. I think we'll take Gift of Paradise. See what happens. And Thicket Crasher came back. As I kind of figured out pack 1, you don't need to prioritize Thicket Crasher. And Thornwood Falls came back as well. That's pretty incredible. I would love a second Netcaster Spider, but getting another free source of blue is too good to pass up. And Goblin Smuggler, another card you don't have to prioritize. Season of Growth, clearly not a card you have to prioritize. Maybe the bots are partially based on Lsv'S reviews, though. Lsv gave Goblin Smuggler 3.0, so. Well, our deck ended up fantastic because we took a couple of calculated risks, and I think it was really fun. I didn't necessarily read all the reviews that he had, but if you haven't read his set reviews, that can be very helpful, I think. I think this is a pretty good mana base. It gives us a lot of sources of our splash. We don't actually need to run the Gift of Paradise anymore because we have so many sources. We have 1, 2, 3. Where is it? 4. Scuttlemutt's definitely going to make the deck. 5 sources of blue without even really trying too hard. Let's see what else. I think Uncaged Fury is quite good, especially because we do have this Season of Growth. The Ferocious Pup's a little bit weak. We have 6 4-drops, which is quite a few 4-drops. But I think our curve is overall quite good. Let's see what we have in the sideboard that we might want to consider. Some decks actually want Scourge Spitter. This isn't one of them. This is more of a mid-range deck than a super aggro deck. We don't want a Dagger Sale Aeronaut because we already have a ton of 4-drops. Fire Elemental we don't need because we have a lot of 5-drops anyway. Triple Red could be a little bit tricky, but we'll manage. We will manage, especially because our... is this an Elemental? It is. So our Ember Hauler... not our Ember Hauler. Our Chandler's Embercat helps us cast it. And we do have a Plummet. I was worried that we didn't have a Plummet. So we need to make 1 cut to this deck. I think it's going to be one of our 4-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look at our curve. Yeah, we have a lot of 3s. We have a lot of 4s. Maybe we could cut a 3. Let's cut a Ferocious Pup. It has minor synergy with our Season of Growth, also just stalling the game for a little bit. But overall, not a super high impact card in our build, and I'm definitely happy cutting that. I think it's our worst card. And we already are still running one, so we do get that effect. I think it's a little bit better than a Gift of Paradise because it does help us affect the board. And Scrying 2 is pretty nice with the Season of Growth. We have 19 creatures, 1 instant, 1 sorcery, 1 artifact. I think this app also comes with a deck tracker, which is kind of cool to try out. Yeah, I think Manifold Key could be playable out of the board, or maybe even in the main deck to go with the Lavakin Brawler, because Lavakin Brawler is so good in our deck. But with 3 Goblin Smugglers, it's much worse, because we have a creature that has the same effect, essentially. I think the closest play is between the Gift of Paradise and the Pup, but we'll play the Pup and see how it works out. This is our deck. I think that the untap.gg thing is a useful tool. Keep in mind, it's not flawless, but it is definitely a great baseline and helper if you have not used the cards before, and especially if you're willing to take the time to read what he had to write. Oh, cool. Okay. We will play first, and we will keep this hand. It's not insane. So let's turn on our deck. Wow, this is actually a really nice tool. It shows us what's left in our deck, how many copies we have, and what cards we've already drawn. So example, the Seasons of Growth is now at 0. We're going to start with Leafkin Druid, I think. Just get a little bit of our ramp on. I wonder if there's a way to change the sizing on this. Let's just play the Season of Growth first, so we can get 2 triggers out of our Ferocious Pup. We're not in too much of a rush to start beating down. Wow, he's playing the Diamond Knight, isn't he? Okay, there's our island. Play Ferocious Pup. We'll keep Mountain on top. Play island. No attacks. Octo Profit. Oh, you can scale things. That's excellent. Whoa. So you can reposition any elements in the overlay. Overall opacity 100%. Okay, so you can change the opacity. That's cool. Scale. Oh, nice. You can make it bigger. I think we'll move it over to the other side. Okay. You can player deck, maximum height. Show card draw choices, max quantity. Perfect. That is really cool. We'll mess with that a little bit more when it's not our turn. We'll play a Goblin Smuggler, get a Scry in, give the Wolf unblockable, attack for 2. We will keep that on top. 3 Scries is pretty powerful after all. And it also fuels some of our elemental synergies. Okay, so now that's not our turn. We want to make the scale big. And I can put it up there. Wow, that's actually really nice. So we're not going to block. So now we can scry 3 times, find one of our really powerful cards. We're going to be very ambitious with these scries. Oh, it blocks over our scrying. We're just going to look for one of our best cards. That's not one of them. That is that. We don't really want those. Oh, there's a little thing that shows what my opponent's played. So we want to move our deck so it's not in the scry zone. I guess they have it on the left for a reason. Sorry if I'm playing around with this. It's kind of a cool tool to have access to, so I just want to see how it works and see what scaling is optimal for me. Okay, so he attacks with those 2. Let us chump block. Maybe we should have kept the dragon because it helps us cast the Cavalier. I was kind of... Oh, that's a really good draw. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. So there's 3, 6, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry if I'm a little bit distracted. I'm just experimenting with the overlay, seeing all the stuff I can do. Yeah, that's game. Ah, let me concede. That wasn't even the right card to target. Yeah, I was not paying attention to the match really there. I was busy experimenting, but yeah, let's side in our plummet. I was watching enough to know that that's going to be good. And what else do we want? We do not want our... Let's just cut a clunky card. Season of Growth is kind of a slower card for more value-oriented games. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I kind of like this tool. Play first. What's this? Okay. So it does cover up your stuff a little bit. We will keep the 7, though. This is a great hand. Let's lower the opacity. Play our lands. Okay. And we can turn on the opponent to see what cards they play. That's kind of a neat tool as well. This is going to be an excellent game for us. We're just going to win this easily, I think. This is pretty solid if we trade for both his guys. Oh, he's going for that game, A, to give double strike to the fencing ace. That's interesting. So it keeps track of all the stuff he plays over here. Let's just kill the fencing ace, because that card can actually trade up for a Lava Brawler. Attack for 10. And Netcaster Sprite is going to do good work here. So it shows us what percentage we have to draw it. We have 3% to draw our Risen Reef. And our opponent concedes. I wonder if it keeps track between games. That'd be cool. I think we're going to bring in a Gift of Paradise for Ferocious Pup, because Pup doesn't actually block that well. And on the draw, we want to make sure we can cast our spells. Move this up a little bit. Let's not show tooltips. Ooh, we have Risen Reef. It shows us our hand a little bit early. So we have a forest. Huh. This hand strikes me as a mulligan. We don't have enough lands, we don't have any red sources, and a lot of heavy red cards. Oh man, this is also a mulligan. Really sucks to be all the way to 5. But this is a fine keep at 5, and we can get rid of our Ember Hauler and our Leafkin Druid and just really try to get this Risen Reef into play early. And that'll help us get back the value that we may lose from... oh yeah. Oh yes. Please don't have a convolute up for our Scuttlemutt. Oh, perfect. They're going to be playing a kind of slowish game here. So even on a mold of 5, we're going to be able to assemble our little combos, which is huge. Wow, they are going really all in on these Diamond Knights. And blue-white does not have a way to kill a creature once it's in play, so this guy's here to stay. Kind of sucks that it covers up my land over there. So they picked white with those. I do have a land over there in the corner that you can't see. I'm going to make the deck smaller. So if I put it there, how big can I make it? That's a fine dex. Actually, I can even go further and just... This seems like an optimal size. So we're just going to play our Scampering Scorcher. Take action. Sure, we'll draw that guy. Take action. No attacks. So this guy can give my creatures +1/+0, which is actually quite relevant. And haste. Fencing Ace, eh? Let's just make some very... We're going to just reduce to ashes one of these Diamond Knights. The Diamond Knights are kind of a problem here. I'm just going to hope they don't have an Unsummon as their last card. Because now we can kill the last Diamond Knight. Be very safe. Oh my gosh, that's wrong. That's dirty what we're just going to do to that guy. Let's just play our Scampering Scorcher. And then we'll use it to hit a land drop. And then play our Lavacan Brawl or something. We're actually going to decline with this one. So we can make a land drop for the turn. Oh, that works out even better. Yeah, this is a massacre. So now we are going to go for a squad block on the Diamond Knight, I'd say. I think we're going to set up for a massive Knight turn. Means this turn we're going to try and dump everything. Give this guy unblockable. Attack for 1,000,000. That's 8 damage. Jeez. That's insane. Well, now that I've figured out the sizing things, I think this is looking good. Air Elemental, that's not going to be good. Good enough, I mean. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No blocks. Because we have 8 unblockable damage. Plus however much this is. And it's an elemental. Gonna get rid of the Netcaster Spider. So now we can pump 1, 2, 3 times. Opponent's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. Oh, I choked that so hard. Oh no. Thank goodness my opponent didn't block. Because I might have choked that because I didn't have my Flamekin guy unblockable. I could have just had him dead. Because I forgot. Oh my gosh. Well, we ended up winning that game. But that was a bizarre one. Actually, we are going to run the Gift of Paradise over the pup. I think we have difficult enough mana requirements that Gift of Paradise is going to be a fine addition. Sorry if the window calibrating was odd or tricky. It's something that I am still figuring out, and I think it's kind of cool to see what all the options are. Like, you can make the opacity very low. Let's make the overall opacity 75. Ooh. So you can make that. You can make the opacities. Okay, we'll play first. On to the magic content. We'll keep this hand. It's a very land-heavy hand. But it has all our colors. Overall opacity. Let's set it at 75. Yeah, let's just keep it at 100. More lands is not good for us. I wonder what that button does. That was a fine draw. Nice to ramp that thing out. Let's lower this opacity. So the background opacity is the non-cards opacity. Okay, so we're just going to attack with our Brawler for 4. Sorry if it bugs people that I'm messing with this little thing. It's like getting a new toy to try out. I think showing the opponent's cards is not super useful yet. Like, during a game, like, doesn't really give you all that much relevant information. Yeah, we'll reduce dash as that. Pretty decent play when it comes to mana efficiency. We can just kill them if they don't have a removal spell 3 more turns. Murder's a problem. Gosh darn it. Thanks, Goblin Smuggler. I thought it was letting me pass to combat immediately. Oh well. That could be very relevant. Oh, man. Well, that's a bummer. Wow, that's... Yeah, obviously not blocking with that thing on the board. Oh, hello, Risen Reef. We're still going to cast it even though it's going to die immediately. And I think I really like the way it held up my mana here because now I can hold up, I can get my Cavalier of Flame if I draw it. What? They let me have a trigger? Jeez. 1, 2, 3. No attacks. They're holding up murder. Or their vial on my Risen Reef. I'm surprised they didn't use the vial. I got an extra card. They're more scared of the smuggler. Especially when probably combined with the Lavacan Brawler I just got. Yeah, I don't think we're going to show my opponents. I don't know what maximum deck height means. What does show tooltips when hovering cards mean? Let's see. Nothing. Okay. Oh, show tooltips when hovering cards is maybe the thing during the draft. I also don't know what opponent deck maximum height means. Turn off the opponent section. Sure. No attacks. If my opponent was at 10 here, it would be kind of a different game. Maybe. Because then a Lavacan Brawler attack would be for half their life total. Yikes. Feels like they're holding up murder or something. So we go to 5 here. We need a big draw. But we have a lot of good ones. Scampering Scorcher would be great. Leafkin Druid's a redraw, so I'm fine with that. Oh, man. Things are looking grim for your hero. So I take 4 and I go to exactly 1. Scampering Scorcher! Okay, Scampering Scorcher is still a great draw. That doesn't do anything here. Okay. We lost game 1 last time. Again, we were kind of not paying attention. But I think we played that game all right. It just happens. Yeah, I think this is fine. Ugh. I wish it kind of showed you the card. Like, if you click it, what does that do? Nothing? This is a good hand. It needs to draw a payoff eventually, but we'll get that. I think we're going to start with the Ember Cat because it can attack on turn 3. Get a Netcaster Spider, blocks Blood Burglar really well. We'll trade Netcaster for whatever trick they have here. We don't have any ways to punish a trick. And that's Catastrophe. Oh, man. Well, that's a fine draw to help stave the bleeding. Get to at least get our little bit of value by killing their 4/4 Blood Burglar. Punished for not playing the Leafkin Druid, but we did get in for 4 points, though it was neutralized. We do need to draw better. I think that's one thing I could get better at, is drawing better cards. It's a skill that you kind of learn with time, but 4 spells, 7 lands is not really what I would like to draw. I'm a little bit off my game in terms of drawing good cards. I'm sure you can tell. We're going to play the Forest, and then after that we're just going to hold our remaining lands. My opponent's also having a pretty bad draw. They are missing land drops. I would love to draw Big Chandra. My opponent just milled 3 lands. That's funny. Rapacious Dragon. I should not have just slammed that like that. I also shouldn't have attacked. I was thinking that this can stop that, but that was a very loose attack, and I'm paying the price. I'm just going to hold lands in case I draw my Cavalier. Oh, man. So I have 4% chance to draw my Cavalier. 8% on any of my 2-ofs. Another Brightwood Tracker, sure. We're just going to play the Scorch. The odds of us drawing a Risen Reef are pretty low. But drawing a Cavalier and then activating it is reasonable. Wow, now whenever a creature dies, they gain a life, which pumps this up. Opponent says nice. I think they should be attacking. So I know they have all spells in hand, and I think we're going to lose this game. Just due to the fact that we flooded out really well. It takes skill to draw this many lands. It's a art form, really. I've been training at it my whole life, really. Don't be sad if you can't draw this many lands in your own games, because it is something that you have to practice. I'm just trying to make it funny. I'm not actually super mad. The games like this should happen. And my opponent's not playing very well because they're not attacking. because they probably don't know how this works. Because if they lose life, this thing gets put to be a 3/4, and then it can attack me with impunity. And they do not want this to happen. Now we have them on a bit of a clock. We don't mind if this grows a tad. We'll jump that. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That is the sickest combo I've ever pulled off in my entire life. Oh, that's awesome. Boom! We have evened up the score at 1-1. Thanks to our awesome combo and our patience, really. And knowing when to get aggressive. You got to know when to get aggressive. We're going to cut Gift of Paradise for Ferocious Pup in this matchup. Pup actually seems like it can block a decent number of things, and the chump block can be relevant. And we're on the draw, so we're going to have more time to find our lands, and we don't need to ramp that much. And overall, in matchups where Pup is a relevant threat as a blocker, I think it's worth playing. Man, I'm really liking this tooltip. It doesn't really help me all that much because I like remember what cards are in my deck generally, but I feel like it could be very helpful for more crazy decks that I have. And seeing percentages is always fun. It can also help you remember your outs. Wow, this is a great hand. Absolutely excellent hand. Jeez, opponent. I'm sorry we had to wreck you so hard. Wow, it knew I was going to draw a forest before I even drew it. That's actually kind of crazy that it knows. Wow, really wrecking me with that first land I played. But I'm going to be playing this card on turn 3 anyway because that's just so much more powerful. 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop. Well, this game is a joke. Let's do this. If they double trade off, we're fine. Like, we're fine trading off this guy for their 2 guys. Oh, they're just so dead now. We have access to 6 mana next turn because of the Leafkin Druid. Oh, that life gain's actually annoying. Things are trying to tap me out of red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play a double red card and a 5-drop. That's probably for the best. We can't actually because that red drop, that red. I think we want to play a smuggler. That's just like lethal next turn if he doesn't have an answer. Let's make this a tiny bit bigger because it can. 3, 5, 8. No block. We don't want to kill any of their creatures because then they gain a life. It doesn't die, so they don't get the trigger. Woo! 2-0, baby! Our deck is fantastic, and we're trying out this new tool. And, I'm liking it. It's just so effortless to win when you have Risen Reef in your deck. It just gives you confidence. Also, this Lavakin Brawler is absolutely unbelievable. It's just so much better than you'd think. Keep in mind, I'm using this as a very rough way to get my stuff calibrated. I mean, because I can't really calibrate this when I'm not playing a match. So we're going to move this up. We'll keep this hand. Wow, Ember Cat is a fantastic draw. They can shock it, I guess. Unfortunate. They have played 3 lands and a shock. Sentinel, sure. We're just going to kill this steadfast, so he can't get any value out of it. Lavakin Brawler, probably going to die to a Chandra's Outrage. No Chandra's Outrage. That's good for me. Maybe my opponent's color screwed or something. Next turn, Season of Growth into Uncaged Fury. Lethal, maybe? Almost lethal. Sure. Giving one of my guys +2/+0 seems really good here.
Time to turn up the heat.
Wow, my opponent just goes to 4. Are they planning on attacking with their Sky Knight Vanguard? Boom! We get the win. That was so good. Plummet seems like a fine addition. And we'll cut our Gift of Paradise. Gift of Paradise is our, like, most cuttable card. It's our 23rd card. I think it's a little bit worse than our Season of Growth on average, just because Season of Growth can do so much work if you land it early. The good news is we've got this untapped thing all calibrated, so if we ever want to use it again, it's all calibrated now. So let me know in the comments if you like the little deck tracker, if it helps you out. Keep this hand for sure. Our deck is just too good. It's not even like needing our like broken commons to be good. We just curve Leafkin Druid into Lavakin Brawler into Goblin Smuggler and just win. Like, what's an opponent supposed to do against that? Ember Cat, sure. Oh, they might have a little combo Rooski. going on over there with the little things of light. I hope they don't put it onto the Daybreak Chaplain. That'd be brutal. Gauntlets of Light. I'd have to find my one removal spell. They are kind of a combo looking deck. Oh, they have a Lavakin Brawler as well. Oh ho ho ho. Three, 4, 5. We would double block this. Well, now we're just gonna do some trading. Yeah, I don't think we couldn't really beat an Inspired Charge, so we weren't gonna play around it. Inspired Charge with 5 creatures is just nuts. Yeah, that game's over. They had a really good draw. They just had a lot of creatures out and then an Inspired Charge. Okay, what do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Maybe we don't want Plummet. Maybe Plummet's just not what we need. Let's just play a Gift of Paradise. Maybe get an early like Cavalier down or something. We only saw one flyer. Also be good to be able to cast our Risen Reef a little bit easier and stuff like that. Is this a keep? Not really, I don't think. He needs to draw a forest too badly. This is a keep, I think, but it's a begrudging keep. Put a forest on the bottom. My opponent also mulliganed. Makes you feel a little bit better. I'm really afraid of Gauntlets. That's a card I'm terrified of. When they have their Daybreak Chaplain rolling, because they don't have any hard removal really for it. Come on, Risen Reefer Chandra. Or even Lavakin Brawler. We're going to play this just so my opponent doesn't snowball with their 1/1s. That card is bad. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, completely wrecked. Fine draw. If I draw a land, I can get this Rapacious Dragon down. A booyah. So if he has a Scampering Scorcher, it's a kind of good combo there. Or Gauntlets of Power. Oh, come on. Come on, man. Wow, my opponent's just wrecking me with their curve outs and stuff. I will admit, their curve outs are much better than mine. Lavakin Brawler is much worse on defense than he is on offense. Give me removal. This is Costs functionally 2 mana, so 2, 6, 8. No, because so if I play this, then I'll have 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Looks like they have an inspired charge potentially. One, two, three, 4. My opponent only has 8 damage. I can't beat an inspired charge. Let's just see. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Oh! If I hit a land off this. Oh my gosh, I punted. I could have tapped this for mana. But I hit the land anyway. Oh! The punt almost came back to haunt me. Though I technically had lethal anyway. Oh my gosh. If I had punted that, because I obviously giving all of my little 1/1s +1 power is so much better than giving my and also giving that guy haste is so much better than having my cat active. Jeez, that was so close to just punting that game, because that way I wasn't dead to a removal spell, like a shock. I mean, shock would have killed me. Shatter's Outrage would have killed me. So I don't know what they could have had there. We'll keep this hand. We can cast a Risen Reef if we draw 1 land with Season of Growth for the Scries. It is a triple red card, but we have Gift to kind of help cast that. Man, that was an insane game. We went to 1 life. I thought we were dead, but then Cavalier. Oh, so good. All you need is a land, and you win by playing Risen Reef on turn 3. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, I never doubted it for a second. Even get Scries to go along with the ability, because it's so good inside. And this is a red, blue, white deck. That's a perfect matchup for Risen Reef, because they can't actually deal with it once it's on the board. We'll top any land here. We don't actually want that right now. That would be a very greedy top, because of things just like that. We just need to get a mountain. We're not going to attack, because then this dies to a... I mean, first of all, it would die to this, but also it would die to the aerial assault, which we don't want. It's not worth 1 damage. There we go. There's the mountain. Pretty clear. Cast our only castable spell. It's also an elemental. Scry first. Sure. We'll put that right into play. Next turn we can cast Cavalier of Flame. I don't even know what we want to discard. No blocks, because Ember Cat can cast our Cavalier. Scry first. We'll put that on the top into the play. Let's get rid of the smuggler. Opponent concedes. No! Aww. I was just going to get rid of the smuggler and the Ember Hauler, I think. I think Ember Hauler was just going to be a 3-mana shock in that situation. And I'd rather draw, like, more powerful stuff. And also, I had 2 other good cards in my hand, so I don't know. I think I was going to get rid of those 2. I'm not sure, though. Maybe it was better to just not get rid of the Ember Hauler, because there's probably a lot of targets. We're going to bring in Plummet, because we saw a target. Cut a... This Reduce the Ashes has actually been super important. I'm going to cut a Gift of Paradise. Our deck is too good. It's not fair at all to our opponents. Bum ba da 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 da. This is what you get when you draft with LSV. Oh man. Also, just as I said, now my record's even better with Risen Reef in my deck. I'm 16-1, and this is only in draft. In sealed, I also have a great record with Risen Reef. How is Risen Reef even a card? It's just disgusting. Blue-white can't beat Risen Reef if you have good synergy with it. And poor Ancestral Blade does not match up well against my Netcaster Spider. The Spider. Like, if they play a Cloud Conceer here, that's powerful. Metropolis Sprite, not so much. So, what? It is a sweet combo with the Blade, though. I'd probably equip it. Abbey Lane is in my run. We're going to play the Druid. It's less mana efficient, but it can block the Soldier. And then we can ramp out our dragon. Or a reduce. But I think the dragon's probably. We'll make them spend a pump spell if they want to. Wow, they just don't spend anything. Well, they're holding up Convolute. So let's give them a target for Convolute. Wow. I am surprised. I mean, they have 4 cards in hand. They didn't mulligan. I feel like they must have a counter. But my guy kind of instantly resolved. Maybe I played myself like a violin. Wow, that is disappointing, to say the least. We're not gonna cast our Ember Hauler, we're just gonna pass. No blocks. So this will tap for 2 mana if we can play a creature. So if we play the Scuttlemutt, we can also play our Reduced to Ashes. Actually, yeah, let's play Scuttlemutt over... Actually, let's just play Netcaster Spider. The 4/4 is actually kind of annoying because it puts us in an awkward spot with our blocks. Next turn we'll get the Scuttlemutt into play. Oh, that's what they had. Yup. Definitely do not want to tap out of my red mana. Okay, so he baited me to trade with my spider? I don't know. I think I kind of had to. We can still trade off Ember Hauler plus our dragon for the Griffin. Probably. Wow, Milk Piranhas is a complete blank right now. Oh, it gave this +1/+1. Well, I guess that wasn't a blank. Oh, man. It's brutal, but we have to do this block. And then we just have to hope to get another forest. I mean, another mountain. We already used our burnt removal spell, right? Yeah. 4/4. Because I was too afraid to try and double block it. Oh, man. Let's hope for a... Oh, man. Oops, not full control. I'm not optimistic here. Did we bring in Plummet? I think we did. Oh, that life could be really important. Mammoth spider. Oh, man, we just have to survive. I need a hero. I need a mammoth till the end of the night. Oh, man, we'll just trade with Metropolis, right? We could have got through some damage with our Goblin Smuggler. And a Scampering Scorch. We could have gotten in 1 point. Opponent has 1 card. We're going to start with this guy. Every point counts. Okay. I like how it wanted to tap both my red lands there. Like, no reason, just feeling the tapping of red lands. I'm just dead to a removal spell. But I accept it. And once you've accepted it, you can move on. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, I'm glad that the disconnect didn't cost us too much. Like, we have them on a 5-turn clock. That's fine. Our Ember Hauler can finish the job. That actually is a relief to me. Oh my gosh, of course, right then we draw Plummet. Once we get this thing off the table, we can start making more aggressive attacks. That was actually a really bad attack, because we now don't have great blocks for the Fencing Ace. So, in retrospect, that was bad, but, you know, you live and you learn. I don't know. Sometimes you just forget about their Fencing Ace. So now we just lose our guys, which was kind of bad, but we get to keep our other guy. No, we don't. Never mind. That's not how double strike works. That would be if it was just first strike. But now we can start attacking my opponent for significantly more damage. Actually, that's not even true. Yeah, I kind of zoned there when Magic Arena disconnected, and I also was like texting and stuff. So, okay, what do we have to draw? We have a 6% chance at our Chandra, so let's take that. We'll actually take them out and play it. Got in for that extra point. That's getting plummeted immediately. I guess we didn't make them waste the mana to the equip. Finally, another elemental. I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but that's just something you can do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elementals. So this is attacking for 8. Wow, this game was like I thought over. Like, I thought we'd lost. No, you monster. Well, we get another trigger. Just closer to our Chandra. Booyah. Heck yes.
Be afraid, wizard.
Yes! Whoo, baby! Let's go. Let us go indeed. Oh, yeah. You know what we're going to do right now? We're going to take the old screenshot of our deck so we can share it with all of our friends. Because this deck is awesome. Epic deck indeed. Wow. This has like been complete and utter domination. Truly. I mean, I think part of it is that I've been playing a lot of Magic Online recently, and the just feels so much more fun to play with such a great deck on Arena every time. This is a draft number 12 for me. Splashing blue just for Risen Reef because it's that good. When I'm calibrating my stats, I look at how well I do with each color, and I count a deck as a color if it runs more than one card of that color. So like this deck will be like a red-green, and I'll say that it has a blue splash, but it's like a small lowercase blue. And this is a disgustingly powerful hand. This is 2 commons and an uncommon, by the way. Oh my gosh. So against red-black. Oh, Blight Beetle. Yeah, that doesn't do anything against my Lavakin Brawler into Scampering Scorcher. It's actually quite bad against my Scampering Scorcher, come to think of it. So if I played Gift of Paradise here, next turn I'd have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, but I still couldn't play both those in one turn. I kind of want to just kill their Scuttlemutt. I think playing Lavakin's better. It just hits like a truck. Gone like a truck train. Oh gosh, punished badly. How many cards did they discard? 1. Each opponent and each planeswalker they control. So this is a lot of damage. This is 5 damage. Let's play the Lavakin Brawler. 3, 4, 5. I hope they trade. Actually, I don't hope they trade, because now I can get Scampering Scorcher into Goblin Smuggler. I can play the Smuggler. And then this is a tap for 2. So if I draw a land, I can just win next turn, I think. I don't know how much damage I'll do, but it'll be a lot. So I can give this thing on one of these unblockable and attack with all these other guys. Two Lavicans, like, my opponent's not going to be able to profitably block them anyway. They have to chump block one of them, at least. And if they chump block both, I think I'm in good shape, regardless. So I think getting in for an extra point of damage is useful. Wow, you killed one of them. Good work. Like, if I hadn't attacked with both of them, I wouldn't have ended up making him chump with his Lavakin Brawler there. This can do 9 damage. This is... I guess I lost to Uncaged Rage for no reason. I like to block like this. Let's just get this forest converted up, gain some life. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 elementals. This is 6, 8, 9, 10. That's not great for me. Sure. I'm gonna block sack. Hopefully I draw my own Cavalier. That'd be excellent. That would win the game, I think. So I have 4. We'll just jump with our Leafkin Druid. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Are you kidding me? This game was such a gimme. I had my 2 massive Lavakin Brawlers, then 1 murder later, I guess. I don't know. I felt like it was fine to not give one of them unblockable. In retrospect, it's looking like that was a mistake. I want to draw my own Cavalier so badly. Wow, my opponent drew about 15 times better than me there at the end, which is really a shame because I feel like I had the game like on wraps and then I drew all lands for like 6 turns. Yeah. Rats. I felt like making him jump block was fine. But I guess we could have just put him on a 2-turn clock. So I guess I messed it up. Cavalier was kind of a beating. I also just decided to not trade with the Cavalier, even though I probably could have. I might have gotten wrecked by murder if I had. Brawler. Yeah, it's still fine. It's a 4-drop elemental. I would really want to draw my Chandra or my Risen Reef or something, though. My opponent has 2 Disfigures. There's some thought to just leaving 1 back so I can't get attacked back for 3. But yeah, because then I could trade one. I would trade 1 damage for 3 damage essentially. I assume they have Disfigure, or they have Shock. And Disfigure? This guy's deck is really good. I know they have Cavalier in their deck, but they won't draw it every game, and also the 2/4 is just a huge problem for my hand and board, and I don't know. Lavakin, brutal. Scorch Spitter. Wow, they have not got good cards for this board that I have. I can't really block the Lavakin. That's an insane attack, isn't it? That's gotta be an insane attack. Heck yes, Risen Reef. Heck yes. Sure. I hope they don't have Disfigure. Oh, Rip Scout Predator. No big deal. So I do have this Uncaged Fury to maybe steal the win. If they attack all out, put me to 1. No blocks. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have something. That cheeky opponent has something, as always. Maybe. Boom! Let's go! Let's go. We are back in the mix. Wow, that was insane. Let's get their game 3. Big draw. Big draw. They have 2 Disfigures and a Shock. Wow, that was actually an intense game. Our Uncaged Fury has come in clutch. Gotta go for it. You got to know when to go for it. Oh, this is a great hand. Oh, absolutely fantastic hand on the draw, too, so we have more odds of drawing lands. If we draw even one land, I think we'll go with our Season of Growth on turn 2. And my opponent's mulliganing to 5. Season of Growth is so powerful in your opening hand because you're just going to get like 4 or 5 scries out of it. Though I think Leafkin Druid on turn 2 is probably better just so I can go Season of Growth into Embercat on turn 3. Though maybe... Oh my gosh. Yeah, Leafkin Druid also dodges Shock and Disfigure. Okay, but I only have one green... Oh yeah, I only have one green mana, so Leafkin Druid's even better then. If I... Yeah. Because I want to play a green spell in a... Oh, this is going to be so good. Embercat into Season. I mean, Season into Embercat. And then I can start scrying for my own Cavalier, my Risen Reef. Gorging Vulture, sure. I think there's a fine plan over the Thicket Crasher play. The problem with the Netcaster is it does block the Gorging Vulture. But it's not a land, it's not one of my powerful cards, and when you're scrying, when you have a lot of scries coming up, you want to be very aggressive with your scries, because, like, I'm going to draw a fine card no matter what, probably, and my opponent's low on resources, so I don't mind. I don't think they can really pressure me all that effectively. Here is a pretty obvious Scuttlemutt. Just so I can cast Risen Reef next turn. Yeah. We'll keep a land on top. I did say I have to be aggressive with scries, but I don't know. That seems like a... Hitting my land drops is important when I have a card like Risen Reef. I hope they don't disfigure my Scuttlemutt. Weird. That is so bizarre. Wow, they just did it for 4 damage. We will scry first, of course. And we will draw that, obviously. It's an oldie but a goodie. That. I don't know how it stacked these triggers. So next is a... Okay, we'll put that on top then. These are weird triggers. Another one. Oh my gosh. This is insane. We'll trade with the Scuttlemutt, though, I think. But maybe we could just have lethal next turn. Scampering Scorcher into Chandra is so much damage. How much damage is that? We'll have 3, 6... 3, 6, 9... 3, 6... 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25 damage, and they can block 6 of it. Oh, no, but then I have 3 less because this doesn't do damage. So, because I'm not attacking with that. So let's just do the math. We have a timeout, so it's fine. We're definitely playing Scampering Scorcher here. Actually, we might want to play Lavakin Brawler. Because then we have 4, 7... No. Scampering Scorcher Chandra is just definitely correct. Even if we just use Chandra to kill the Gorging Vulture. maybe we want to play... So we alternated them. You don't really want that. Sure. This is
I think I'm a decent enough pyromancer.
3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 17, 20, 23. My opponent can block 6 of it. 23 minus 6 is 17. Gosh darn it. I'm going to play it safe.
I'm gonna try something new.
Because we definitely have lethal next turn. Sure, Blight Beetle.
Let's get stoked.
Charge! I should have played my Goblin Smuggler. He blocks here. Blocks here. He takes 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. Oh, I choked. Ultimate choke. Whoops. I should have played this guy. He can't kill my Chandra anyway. Even if you had a Flame Sweep or something. I respect him getting in for damage. Boom! Man, I thought we were up against the wall, but we made that comeback victory. Man, my Risen Reef record is now 18-1. Nice! All of the prizes. If you made it all the way until the end of the video, type hashtag Elemental Synergy in the comments section down below, because we did get all of the synergies off in that last game, and it was awesome. If you did enjoy the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know if you are going to check out the untapped.gg tool. Let me know if you enjoyed having it on the video, and I might include it in future videos. So leave that down in the comment section down below, in addition to the hashtag Elemental Synergy. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel to get access to more content, and as always, huge shout out to my patrons over on patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. I really do appreciate their support, and they are part of the reason that I'm able to bring you these videos. So thank you so much to them. I really appreciate you guys. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time.